Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to day 2 of this, the Unsquashable Premier League here in Auckland at Squash XL. And the two players on court at the present time, that is Glenn Templeton, who's in the blue. He is the New Zealand junior champion, 18-year-old that he is. He won the Under-19 championships last year here in Auckland. And he's up against the 21-year-old player from the Remuera club in Auckland. That is Michael SHELTON-AGAR. He is in the red. So this is the first of the 2 plate matches today. It'll be followed by the second plate match, and that is Leo Fatialofa, the 17-year-old, up against Jack Condor, who also is a teenager from Auckland. And then we have the 2 semi-finals. That first semi-final is Joe Arscott up against Elijah Thomas. Of course, Joe Arscott has a ranking inside the top 250 in the world. Elijah Thomas, also a ranked player, albeit that he is just 17 years old. So Elijah Thomas currently at 257. Joe Arscott is at 235. And the completion of matches today will feature Temwa Chalisi with a current ranking of 337 up against Anthony Lepper, who has a ranking of 256. So the majority of players here do have PSA rankings, with Joe Arscott the highest ranked at 235. So we have 4 matches today, 2 plate matches to start with, and then 2 semi-finals of this, the Unsquashable Premier League at Squash SL in Auckland. And we'll be keeping you up to date with the 2 plate matches. And then when we get to the semi-final contests, we'll have full commentary of both of those matches. So stay tuned here on PSA Squash TV on the YouTube channel and enjoy squash. It's the first squash that we've seen for quite some time. We hope you enjoy it. You're going to see some slightly unorthodox shots here from the player in the red, that is Michael SHELTON-AGAR. And then you have Glenn Templeton, a very tall, strong player, just still a teenager, 18 years old. You're going to see some powerful hitting from him, although he does cover the court very well. So keep tuned in to enjoy your squash. And for those people watching this squash from anywhere around the world, I guess you have to remember that it has been 7 or 8 weeks for most of these players before they got on court, which was the first time yesterday. And it certainly had become a lot cooler in Auckland compared to what it was when they last got on court. It was very warm. And yesterday, last night in fact, it was quite chilly for Auckland, whereas today it is the afternoon in the city and a nice 19 degrees, so a lot warmer in the court. And these players are still getting back into their groove and still getting back into match play as well. So the first couple of games for every match yesterday took a little while for players to really get into their stride, and a few unforced errors, but then by the time we got later into the matches, certainly players were showing their style and their true fitness as well. A particularly good match was featuring Glenn Templeton against Elijah Thomas, and that one went the full 5 distance, although Thomas took that one 11-1 and the 5th in the end, but certainly the first couple of games were very entertaining and some very good rallies. So all of these players now very happy to be on the court once again after so many weeks away and so many weeks of fitness off the court. Now to actually get back on, a real benefit for everybody. As this first plate match continues into the thick of the second game, Joel Ascot, different conditions today, quite warm outside, and we're in the afternoon here in Auckland. And I guess that's going to really alter the way these players continue in a rally.
Yeah, you can see almost on the right of your screen for the people watching, there's a lot more sun coming into the centre, and the balls are bouncing a lot more. Longer rallies to be expected with that warmer ball, but I guess what we can expect is maybe a few more balls coming back than what we saw last night. Longer rallies, just that kind of thing. Balls staying very short yesterday.
I guess the other thing is, after one match, players are a little bit more into their groove. Maybe, it's only been one match, but still just feeling a bit better. Maybe could be feeling a little bit tired in the legs or part of the body as well.
Yeah. I guess it's been a while since the boys have played a full-on intense match, especially, going straight into it after such a long break. So there'll be some sore bodies today, and but I think the nerves is the big thing that we'll notice. Maybe less errors at the start of matches, things like that. Michael opting for short on this occasion.
So as you would have heard there, we've been playing short or long. And,
And a nice finish. So Michael might be regretting his choice there with the short after that shot.
Exactly. And back in for the third game of this. The first match, it is a plate contest. Glenn Templeton, the teenager, just 18 years old, up against the oldest player, albeit just 21 years old, in Michael SHELTON-AGAR. And Joel asked Scott, it's been entertaining so far. The players have had two very close games, 11-9 and was it the second 11-10?
Yep.
So it's been very close. Certainly I think both players appear to be relishing the warmer temperatures and the bit more bounce in the ball, a bit more of a longer rally perhaps.
It's only been 16 minutes now, but
Yeah.
it's that middle ground stage now where we see the better player usually going away with it. So this is an interesting time. Different conditions, as you said yesterday. So all those things play a factor right now. And that's what they don't want, is to make those soft errors at this sort of crucial time. Big difference between being 2-1 up and 2-1 down.
Again, using the sidewall, using the burst, it really is a strength of Glenn Templeton, certainly in this match and other matches as well. He's a big lad, very tall, but is able to move quite well considering his height and his shoulder width as well. He's a strong guy, or he looks very strong.
A lot of reach in those limbs.
And you do have to remember that this is the first of 4 tournaments. I mean, everybody's going to try their best in this event. However, it's probably smarter to make sure you've got something left for the next 3 weeks as well.
Yeah, they've got to be pretty smart about it. They've been doing 4 or 5 weeks of, well, not nothing, but no intense match play, and certainly not competition. So you have to be kind of smart about that and take that into account, especially in these plate matches.
And Joel, you have a friend or a supporter coming through online there. Ed Taylor says hello.
Big Ed, yep.
Hello back to you, Ed, from Joel and myself, Dave Worsley. Joel will be on the court a little bit later on, and the first semi-final up against Elijah Thomas, and that'll be a tough contest as well. He's such a hard player to beat because he runs everything down.
Yep, certainly does.
Nice work.
Nice squeeze there on the forehand wall. A lot of action down the forehand actually from these guys. Both got big swings. We saw Michael last night in my match. A lot of woodens on that forehand. Puts a lot of power into it. Almost raises his swing like Ramy Shaw. I think I saw someone say on the feed last night. and yeah, really whips it through with his wrist. That's Glenn going for that through wall boast again, not finding the neck that time.
Quite remarkable in this particular contest, just how much play is going down the forehand side. Generally,
It's the
most players
opposite.
try and hammer each other's backhand. In this one, though, they're using the forehand side so often.
It's an interesting one because hasn't really worked in either of their favours at the moment. Certainly very attacking squash through this middle period.
You're not getting the big rallies at the moment, but that's probably not these two players.
No, definitely not. Both looking, both got good short games, and I love taking the ball in. And when you're playing on a glass court like this, it's a lot of temptation on there, and just see that getting the better of Glenn. Oh, great
play.
touch. It's a lot harder than it looks, that shot, taking it off the
there we
front
go.
wall on the volley.
That is the third game. So he's up 2-1, SHELTON-AGAR. He is unranked on the PSA rankings against Glenn Templeton, who does have a PSA ranking. Been playing quite a few tournaments, actually. His current PSA ranking is 357 in the world, whereas Michael SHELTON-AGAR is unranked at the present time. Back very shortly with the fourth game of this first plate match.
So pressure's on Glenn now. He is younger, but he is higher ranked, as Michael's not actually ranked. So pressure's on, 2-1 down. Only been under 25 minutes, so I don't think either of them will be massively fatigued, but it's just a matter of how do you manage that, with the scoreline and the position he's in. So it'd be interesting to see what his response will be.
Well, Glenn Templeton did play 5 games yesterday, albeit the final game was fairly straightforward to Elijah Thomas. He won that 11-1. So 5 yesterday. It really does look as though he's just playing himself into the tournament and perhaps for the next 3 weeks. I mean, you never want to lose. I'm not saying he's got to do that. But Michael SHELTON-AGAR is a little bit unorthodox in certain ways. And you played him yesterday, Joel, and he does make you work and try and figure out how to beat him.
Yeah, he's a slippery kind of player. Can be very irritating to play against with his swing and his shot choice, which does catch you off guard a little bit. But no, as you said, Glenn's aware that he's got 4 tournaments in a row, and again that he hasn't played in a while. So, but yeah, it's still interesting just to see how he'll react here.
Well, that right-hand corner is really going a bit dead. They're getting a lot of bounces just hitting the join, and it's working into that corner if you can get it. We should explain that the ages of these two players. Well, we've got the oldest one, and he's only 21. That is Michael SHELTON-AGAR and 18-year-old Glenn Templeton. So it really is a tournament for those players on the rise around New Zealand, the domestic players, some of the best domestic players around New Zealand. And the youngest being 17, or only just 17 a couple of days ago. And that is Leo Lofa against the 21-year-old Michael SHELTON-AGAR.
See the boys taking the ball in pretty sharply in this fourth set. Just that ball sort of softening up happens. You'll see it a lot on Squash TV with the top boys as well, but these white balls on these glass courts, they take a beating trying to get any length or get the ball to the back. So when you get to this half-hour mark, 40-minute mark even, the ball really softens up, and you've got to hit a lot higher on that front wall to get it to the back. And unless you've had that experience on this court or on courts like this, it's a tough thing to adapt, and it's usually the case at this sort of time. It's who can get the length first, or in this case, get those balls up at the front.
Well, Joel, for you played last night and you were one of the earlier matches. However, how did you spend this morning? Was there anything particular? Did you train? Did you go for a bike ride? Did you take some time off?
Yeah, usual routine for me. usual routine for me is just pre-match or pre-tournament match. Nice hit out in the morning. I'm fortunate enough that I actually live at the venue, so wasn't a problem getting court time this morning on this glass court. And heading with my training partner and flatmate, Temwa. So yeah, just nice, easy hour and a half. Shaking those nerves out, getting the legs going for tonight. See a lot of low kills, low winners at the moment. Right on cue, the forehand fan off the serve. That is a very hard shot to play.
Nice recovery. Michael SHELTON-AGAR back in this rally again. And the official for this tournament is Heather Finlay. Doing a lot of work actually. She's got 4 matches to go through.
Yeah, she's got to adjust as well with the shorter long rule at the end. But a very loyal referee supports the events here at Squash Excel. And again, we see that 3-wall boast from Glenn. It's a real weapon to have, especially on the back foot. Tough movement to make if you're in Michael's shoes. Oh, nice.
Well played. He's got pretty good touch, Michael SHELTON-AGAR.
Yeah, a lot of his balls staying very short. Not sure how much experience he's had on this court, but certainly adjusted very well, right on cue.
Well, there you go. Takes that one in 4. So Michael SHELTON-AGAR taking the match here, this first plate match, and defeating Glenn Templeton in 4 games.